Hello again, everyone. Age of June here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. I mentioned in my last Shoutcast, I believe, that I've really been wanting to... I've been playing Soraka a decent amount, and I've really been, at least somewhat liking her, but honestly, I've kind of been sucking. And I want to see how exactly to do a bit better. So, I decided to go ahead and search LoL King, because they recently reduced their replay database for Soraka games, so I could see how somebody else plays it in the pros. And I found this particular match, which not only does it have the champion that I wanted, Soraka here, but it's also got KaBuM. It's got a couple members of KaBuM in it. It's got KaBuM, Callan, and I thought I saw another KaBuM. I could be wrong. Yeah, it looks like there was only Callan here. But given that I have been watching Worlds and stuff, I definitely wanted to go ahead and... What the heck? Oh, okay, just a little bit harassed. I wanted to go ahead and take a look at KaBuM and just cast a game with them in it. Because, honestly, I feel like they deserve it. They did really well for what they are in... Ooh, got grabbed there. You better watch out there. Yeah, they did really well there. Let's see. I'm actually not sure what Callan is there. Maybe it's a sub or something? I'm not sure. It could just be something else, too. It could just be named that. I'm not sure. But Callan is in this game. I just Googled, and I'm not seeing that name anywhere on the roster. So my guess is definitely that it's a sub. But I'm not altogether certain. And then we've got PaiN here. That is another one of the high-level Brazilian pro teams. So I would assume this is actually one of theirs as well. Let me just to make sure. Because, you know, people do... Yeah, okay. That actually is one of the members of PaiN. So that's definitely good. Let me see if it says anything about Callan here. I'm not seeing anything about Callan. So I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if he wants to be KaBuM or, like I said, is. I don't know. But either way, might be a KaBuM member of some sort. But doesn't matter. I get to see Soraka. And I want to see what exactly goes on there. It does start with the Q, which is what I originally started with. It seemed like that was a good idea. Because the harass from that Q is really nice. It's definitely hard to hit, though. I noticed that people I very quickly got good at dodging it. And honestly, with the range of it, it seems like it's smaller than the auto attack range for many of the 80 carries. So anytime I would come over to go ahead and Q to get health back later on in the game, I would lose more health than I gained from it. So it's gonna take some time getting used to. Did a lot of damage there though. You know, a large part of that is also Tristana being there and doing damage, which that may be part of what my problem is that I'm the only one really harassing, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't really like the idea of just simply blaming my team because that's just silly. It's definitely something I'm doing. I would imagine runes and masteries are part of it. I'm kind of surprised to see her harass with her E as much as she is. I actually did not do that. Maybe it's something I should go ahead and try. She did actually go for that E second, too, amusingly enough. Which does mean she doesn't have the sustain from her W. Which, you know, benefits not only the Tristana, but because of the way it works with the Q, it benefits her as well. We've got a possible gank coming in here, and Lee Sin is on his way around. He's picked up other ward, so if he didn't go in soon, yeah, he's not going to be able to go in at all, because the Rise is far enough back. As soon as he starts walking towards it, it's not going to go well. And, of course, the timing of that really made it hard for Rumble to want to do anything, because there's a huge minion wave here. And for him to walk over there and go help Lee Sin try to take down the Rise, he would have missed a large portion of that wave. Unfortunately, that means, though, that Lee Sin has left him, and he's going to be forced off the lane for a little bit. He should still be okay, because, you know, he does have that shield, and Lee Sin's still hanging around. So if Rise isn't careful, he could end up going down here. I've experienced that one firsthand. On the other hand, his ward is gone, so it could end up happening. Looks like the Vi is going for red buff? But it's not there. So she's going to walk face first into Lee Sin here. Looks like he's actually coming out of this behind so far. It's pretty close, though. In comes the Rumble as well, lands the slow on her. Lee Sin Q comes out, down she goes. And that is the second blood there. Rise is coming in, going to be able to finish off that Lee Sin. That is bad news for that red team. And Rumble's trying his best to get out of this. He should be able to. That's a Lucian mid. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. So down here in the bot lane, they are having them press to the tower, and that right there is really what I noticed, that I was always spending my time, you know, less than half health and pretty much So I can definitely understand what's going through her head there, because it really sucks. She did manage to land the Q there on both of them though, and that's exactly what you need to do, because it actually heals you for a certain amount per person it hits, which is honestly huge. You need to, if possible, land it on multiples. It's, like I said, it is really hard. They're pretty good about dodging it. I don't think Syndra's going to go down here. She got low. She was forced back, but she's not going to go down. And that is going to give the Lucian here some time to go ahead and free farm. But, oh, battle up here as well. Rumble doing work with that overload, I believe it is. What is that pass? Overheat. Not overload. Overheat, right. I knew that. Yeah, doing work. Take a look at the team members here. We've got PaiN Lacti top as the Rumble versus Kryptonio playing the Rise. In the mid lane, we've got Lucian played by Brazilian Name. I wonder, probably just somebody who really likes the Name player. I don't know though. Looks like there's a possible gank coming in here as well. Lots of damage going into the Rumble there, but he is baiting this Rise out. If Rise... Oh! Lee Sin decided to come out slightly too early. Got the kill, though. In came the Vi. She missed her Q. And now she's getting hit hard with that Rumble ulti. Did a lot of damage. He's going to be able to get the kill. Lee Sin actually died to the tower there. I think he thought he could take one more tower shot. It did not end up happening. Ended up being 2 for 1, though. And that's definitely worth it. 1 kill there for Rumble. He already has the 2 assists, so he's going to have a much better time. He's got a Negatron cloak now, and he's headed back to go get more. And he's going to be able to start bullying this Rise. It's going to be a really unpleasant time for Rise. So, Kusye is the Syndra here, getting chunked again by Lucian. Out comes the culling, damaging almost all of her health. Not quite. 3/4 of her health. She's going to be able to survive this, forced to pop a potion, and forced to be very safe here. Going to sit under the tower. Probably a good idea on her part. She doesn't have to worry about dying yet, because she does actually have a decent number of potions. But she still has to watch out. Looks like Thresh might be coming up here for a roam. Put a ward into that bush. Honestly, not too bad of a decision there. And warding up around there as well. Lee Sin's giving that blue buff there to the Syndra, which is going to be good for her. Going to have a much... Oh, that sucks. Much better time against the Lucian. Having that mana really helps a lot. Alright, so down at the bot lane, we've got Get Over, playing Tristana, versus Jinx, played by Frame God. Gotta stop switching those. Oh, that does end up going down. And that stun does not end up landing. The supports, we've got Soraka, played by E.O. Espion Ne. Alright. Pray for Shaco is playing the Thresh here. Had a bit of an engagement as well. Just barely missed, but it did indeed end up missing there. That's a ping, though, onto that dragon, and it looks like they might be able to get this, as Lee Sin is actually at his red buff. Probably not his best timing there. Actually, no. That's not even fair to him. That is more their timing. They knew where he was, so they went for the dragon. Now, unfortunately, they don't know when the respawn is. That equalizer came out. That Rise is going to go down. There's really nothing he can do about it. He does end up going down. Kill goes to Lee Sin, which is better for the Rise, but it's still going to be a bit unfortunate. That death, he's getting further and further behind all the time. And it's really showing. Ooh, walks right into the trap. Gets the harass off, though, with her Q, which also heals her. In comes the teleport, coming in from that Rumble. He gets the slow onto Raka, but he gets immediately shunted back by the Tristana ulti. He's still going to try to take her down. He does take her down. The Thresh hook lands. The Tristana is just about dead. She is actually going to live, though. Just barely, but live she does. Nice escape there. Got the flash heal. And she was able to live through that just barely. Alright, so KaBuM Callan is playing the Vi, and Eglu is playing the Lee Sin for the red team. Nice steal there by the Syndra. She said, no, you don't get to steal that. And now we've got some MIA pings coming from the blue team saying, hey, I don't know what Thresh is. He's up here. Didn't end up catching anybody, though. But honestly, at this moment, he's actually doing exactly what he needs to do. There's really no reason for him to be down here. Yeah, you can get the XP and stuff, but had that roam been successful, it would have been way better. Oh, the Lucian's getting really dangerous here. He's getting pretty far out. If he's not careful, he could end up going out. This Lee Sin does have his ulti up, so we actually could see a bit of a insect. It's not going to end up happening, and now these guys are in a pretty big amount of trouble. Syndra, Thresh, and Lee Sin are all on their way. Nice escape there by the Jinx. In comes everybody. Yeah, Soraka's going down right now. Tristana's the only one left. She's going to try to finish her off, but it's not going to end up happening. She goes down to the Lee Sin, and Syndra was able to secure that kill onto the Soraka. In the meantime, Rumble went ahead and rotated down the middle. He knew that that's pretty much exactly what was needed. Out comes the equalizer. Not going to hit, though. Lucian dodged just the right direction. He's got to run, though, because the Lee Sin and the Syndra are coming up here. The Q does not connect, and they do manage to save this tower. These guys had to back off almost immediately, but didn't get the kill, and I believe he also used his flash. No, there was no flash used. She did. She used her flash, though. But they still saved their tower, so I guess it's worth it in the end. Took a lot of damage there, though, from him. In the meantime, though, Jinx is down here. Flash root from the Rise, trying to finish off the Syndra. He does manage to finish her off, and now they are all here to push this tower. Jinx and the Thresh are headed back, and they're not going to be able to get here in time. Not even close. This tower's gone, and Rumble is going to do his best to go ahead and defend this and just keep them off of the second tower, because he does not want them being able to do that. Unfortunately, it was only him, so his team was definitely a bit out of position there, and they ended up losing that for it. They are also possibly going to lose this bot tower if Tristana decides to stick around. It looks like she's not going to, and is instead going to go ahead and head into her jungle. Probably could have taken down that tower had she wanted to, but apparently that is not exactly on her list of things to do at the moment. Rumble headed back up top to go ahead and shove that up again. CS-wise, he's actually not too far from that Rise. He's 12 behind, which, I mean, isn't terrible, but could definitely be a bit better. And he is actually making Rise miss some of this CS, so that's going to be good as well. He's got to watch out, though, because that Rise is he's really dangerous. I mean, actually, to be fair, they really both are. And, of course, it's doing a decent amount of damage. The Rise has the more sustained damage. Out comes the Equalizer again. The Rumble's going in, and that Rise is dead. In comes the Vi, gonna try to secure the kill onto him, but in comes Lee Sin to try to protect. She manages to finish him off. Lee Sin's not gonna be able to do anything. Get some harass on her, but that's about it. Chunks her down to half health. Not gonna be enough, though. He was not quite able to get there in time. A little bit sooner, he might have been able to Dragon Rage the Vi away from the Rumble to go ahead and save him. Did not end up happening, though, so in the end, it's not really going to matter. In the meantime, the blue team, the rest of the blue team, rotated down here to go ahead and possibly push this tower from the looks of it. The Tristana's going to continue shoving. Soraka is continuing on in the tradition of being low. Started with Tear the Goddess. Alright. That's interesting. I usually went for the Chalice for that mana sustain. One thing about it, though, if your ADC, sorry, takes a lot of damage, you're gonna have a bad time because you have to continuously heal them up, and you're not gonna land enough Qs to go ahead and heal that damage back up. I found that out the hard way. Anytime anybody would get chunked, I would lose a large portion of my health, and it's very, very difficult to get that back up. What is that? Increasing based on how much? Oh yeah, right. Okay. So yeah, the more health she's missing, the more she gets healed. Alright, so the blue team's finally going to go ahead and take down this tower. There's really nothing that the Jinx and Thresh combo could do. It looks like the blue team's wisely going to go ahead and back off. Syndra was on her way over to go ahead and shove them back anyway. So had they not backed off, it may have ended up coming across a really unpleasant situation for them. Rumble going surprisingly hardcore, but on the plus side for him, Rise actually decided to stick around on his Equalizer, so he took a lot more damage than he really needed to. The Lee Sin's hanging around in this jungle here, comes across the Vi. Vi's just chunking him down. He's able to flash out, though. He's gonna be able to get out of this. Yeah, he's gonna get out of it. really close, but he did get out. Rumble was able to go ahead and take down the Rise, as it looks like the Rise. Did he come down here to go in on the Lee Sin? He did. He came down here to go in the Lee Sin. He's picked up by that ward, and I guess Rumble just went ahead and flashed over. Yeah, he did. He flashed over, let that Flame Spitter kill him, and then in comes the Vi to finish the Rumble off. So it ended up being another 1-for-1 here, but they did save the Lee Sin, so that's good. And given the fact that Lee Sin has so much of their kills, that is definitely a really big thing. Syndra was also there to back him up if need be. Wasn't needed in this case, but definitely, it's always really nice when your teammates come to save you, you know? It really is. Feels good. Alright, so Rise and Rumble both coming up shortly. They may end up going back up top. I doubt we'll see a teleport, but I could be wrong. Now, Rise is not going to teleport, and I highly doubt Rumble's going to teleport. If either one of them did teleport, that would definitely put them behind on the teleport. Having teleports. Got an engagement here coming in, though. Lee Sin going in on the Lucian, jumps over the wall, and he's able to escape this. Thresh getting chunked. He's getting really low. In comes the Rumble. That teleport finally coming through. I don't think he has his ulti. He does not have his ulti, so he's not really able to do too much. He's going to be able to finish off this ward, but that's not really enough. And Soraka's just trying to get some harass and heal herself on. And in the meantime, Vi's hanging out in this bush. She's got to watch out. Their whole red team just walks right by though, so she goes right in onto that Syndra and does not manage to finish her off thanks to that Thresh shield. Nicely done there by Thresh. The exhaust comes out onto Tristana. Q from Lee Sin, and Tristana goes down. Rise is coming to go ahead and try to secure this. The flash comes out from the Syndra as well. Not going to end up going down. In the meantime, though, these guys were able to go ahead and chase down that Rumble and finish him off. But that ended up being a 1-for-2. And that's definitely in their best interest. The blue team is trying their best to close this gap up and to turn it back around into their favor. I don't think it's going to happen, though. We've got the Jinx here now. And, oh, Lee Sin goes for that. Finishes off the Soraka. He's got to try to escape this now. He should be able to do it. Yeah, he will be able to do it. And just kidding, he goes in onto the Lucian, who pops the barrier. And that ends up letting him finish it. In comes the Thresh. But the Lucian immediately jumps away from that. In comes the Jinx, though, trying to go ahead and help. Does force them back, but was not able to secure the kill. That was actually really good barrier bait. I gotta say, that was really good barrier bait by the Lucian. Had that barrier not come out when it did, he definitely would have died there. Lee Sin had enough damage, and he would have died. So that was really good. Got him to stay there. Soraka hanging out here. Why not? You stack the tier that way, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at some more builds just to see if other people go build the tier or if it's just a Brazilian thing or what's going on. I built what I thought was going to be good, but no promises that is actually good, and it didn't really seem to work out for me. Late game is just so painful on her. It felt like trying to keep my allies healed up, and I wasn't able to get any harass off, and it was just altogether kind of unpleasant. A little bit of a support fight here. Oh, the death sentence lands. The flay comes out as well. Lee Sin going in on the Soraka. Rocket getting really low. In comes a teleport from Rise, though. Lands that root onto Thresh. Not going to be able to finish him off, and the red team is going to be able to escape this. Out comes a Jinx ulti. Did not end up landing because these guys were able to finish her off and dodge that Jinx ulti, apparently. She was way too far forward. Gets chunked there by the Tristana right off the bat. She's doing a lot of damage, though, to herself. And, oh, had that hit, it actually would have been a kill, most likely. But she just barely missed it. It whizzed right by Tristana's head. It would probably have been a 1-for-1 had she not missed it. Got Syndra coming in. Nice stun. Unfortunately, the Thresh just used his hook. Did not end up landing it. In goes the Vi, and that... oh, just barely dies. Okay, she almost finished off the Syndra, but she did end up dying before that could happen. I believe the Thresh actually had something to do with it. Was able to go ahead and save her with that shield. And we've got another engagement happening here in the mid lane. It looks like the Lucian decided to engage on the Rumble there. Got the slow, so he actually would have been able to escape, but Lee Sin decided to go in onto the Lucian. Probably not in his best interest, as he goes down really fast there with help from Rise. So he definitely should have stayed over here. I guess he thought that the Rumble was going to need him. Not the case. Not at all the case. Out comes the Equalizer. Definitely an early Equalizer. I'm kind of surprised by that. It's a really good zoning tool, and when it's on cooldown, it's not so much. Ruby Sightstone? Huh. I never see Ruby Sightstone. Ever. Lucian coming out with the culling again, clearing this minion wave nearly instantaneously. Don't know if he's going to head back. Looks like he is indeed going to head back. The red team is definitely on their heels for most of this game. The Lee Sin early in the early game actually had a really good time, and he's able to do a lot of damage to them. But ever since then, it's been a really rough time here for this red team, as they've just been consistently beat down every time they tried to do anything. The Tristana's on her way up, picked up by that ward though, but she's actually walking towards Syndra. Not going to end up happening. Oh, Thresh comes in, out comes that Lantern, pulls the Syndra in, out comes the Flay, the stun goes, nice! Death Sentence hooks her while she's running away, she goes down. Now they're chasing after the Soraka. I don't think they're going to be able to get her. Thresh, if she sticks around too much longer though, they will. Out comes the slow there, Death Sentence should be up soon. And he actually grabs the Vi. Out comes the stun there from the Syndra. In they go onto Vi. Vi's getting low. Vi goes down. In comes a teleport. Just kidding. Didn't end up happening. He canceled it. And they do actually secure that kill though. That may give them enough time to go ahead and take down this tower. And that's exactly what they're trying to do here. Lee Sin circling around from behind to possibly go for a bit of an insect play here onto that Soraka. In the meantime, though, Ryze and Lucian were up top going in on the Rumble. In they go, kicks her back, and she's going to go down. They're going to be able to get this tower. That is actually 100% worth it. They got, 3 kills there and a tower for 1 kill top. Probably and a tower. And a tower. But they may end up being able to get this tower if they want to. Looks like they're going to go for it, at least do some damage to it. They're not going to be able to finish it off, I believe. Oh man, they're going on to Tristana, land the slow. Out comes that ulti there from the Cinder. Not going to be able enough to finish her off. Just barely not enough, but not enough indeed. In comes the Vi ulti. Nice Lantern though, means she's going to be able to get out of that. Just barely. Look at that health. 125 health when she got the lowest point. Vi's still chasing a little bit here. Now she changed her mind. Went ahead, went to go clear out these minions, and they probably need to get here to this mid lane pretty quickly, or they're going to end up losing it. Rumble's down bottom, which means he's not going to be able to save that. Jinx just finished going back with Syndra, so they're not going to be able to do that. Looks like the blue team's actually going for the Baron instead of going for that tower, though. And honestly, red team shows no inclination of going. Now they ping it, but it's already down a quarter of its health. Out comes the Jinx ulti. Oh, does a lot of damage there. The Soraka heals it right back up. Lee Sin's hanging around. He wants to go for this. Goes in. Does manage to steal it. Nice steal. He's going to die for it, but he gets the steal. In comes that Rumble ulti. Just destroying these guys. She is so close to dead. The Soraka healed just enough to keep her alive, but Soraka may end up dying here. Out comes her Q to go ahead and try to heal her up. Thresh is hanging around. If he catches somebody, they're probably dead. No, he's not going to be able to catch anybody. And the blue team's going to be able to get out of this alive. But they did lose a lot of their health and got absolutely nothing for that because they didn't even get the Baron. So, looks like the red team's shoving forward to go ahead and go for this tower. It is a 4 versus 5 right now. But because of the fact that those guys lost so much health, they're not going to be able to do anything to defend this. And down it goes, indeed. Looks like the red team may be thinking about headed bot now. They've got a lot of towers on the map that they haven't destroyed. They've got all of these outer towers. In comes the culling. Not really doing much. Not really doing much at all. Not even a quarter of the Thresh's health. So, that's a little unfortunate there. He's got Infinity Edge, Sheen, Zeal, and a Hex Drinker, interestingly. Would not have thought Hex Drinker. Definitely would not have thought Hex Drinker. I guess it's to go ahead and counteract Syndra, though, so I can understand it, I suppose. It's not something you see normally, though. Definitely not. And Rumble went ahead and shoved this back up. Ryze is there to counter shove as well. Rumble going to go ahead and finish headed back, though, so he's not going to stick around. And now the Lee Sin, gets hit by the root there. He's not going to be able to go for that. And he's going to go ahead and clear out these double golems instead. Vi's coming in to go for him, though. He's got to watch out. Nice kick. She's not going to be able to do anything. Teleport coming in for the Ryze. He's able to ward jump out of that with no problem, though. And Thresh and Jinx are coming up from below. Lots of be careful pings. In they go onto Jinx. She melts instantly. Thresh Lantern not going to be able to save her. Definitely a very risky way for her to go, and it ended up not working out at all. Soraka just barely escaping there. Out comes the culling again. Not really doing much. Vi goes down. And ended up being a 1-for-1 overall there. Soraka needs to run, trying to hit those Qs, but it's not going to end up happening. It's way too dangerous for her to stick around and try to land those Qs. So she does indeed back off there, and going to be able to get out of this with very little problem. The red team, though, says, hey, we should go do Dragon. They know it is up. believe it just spawned. So they're headed on their way down there. Let's see what ends up happening there. Out comes a Jinx ulti going in. Who's it going to hit? Is it going to hit? Whee! Ooh! Hits the Vi. Doesn't end up killing anybody, though. Had Soraka gone back, it actually might have killed her. Lantern goes on to Tristana, though, and the ulti from Soraka just barely saves her. She's still getting really low. Down she goes to Thresh. And now Raka's in a very dangerous position. Does not get hit with the stun. Does not get hit by the slow. Doesn't get hit by that either. She's going to be fine. And now they're going for the dragon. In the meantime, up top, Jinx and Lucian are doing battle. Down goes the Jinx to that Lucian. Again, that barrier bait seemed to really pull it off there. Syndra's hanging around, tried to steal that red buff, did not end up managing to do so. But they are going to be able to secure that dragon. And that's going to be a lot of global gold there for them. Again, they are definitely catching up here. It's 41.4 to 40.4. 1,000 gold, that is the only difference now. At 25 minutes, that's not really much at all. So, definitely a good thing for them. And now they're all headed back to go ahead and buy things. Lots of items here, as we can see, getting bought. I really wish I could just turn that off. I don't know, maybe you guys like it. If you do, let me know. I mean, yeah, I know you can turn it off, but it doesn't stay turned off, which is the problem. In comes Vi, though, to go in on the Rumble. And he pops out with the Equalizer. He is able to keep her off for a little bit. But unfortunately for him, Tristana was there as well. And she was just ripping him apart. She's ranged, so she doesn't have to worry about that Equalizer. So he was not quite able to finish off that Vi before he died. And that means that this blue team's going to be able to counter push here, as it is yet again a 4 versus 5. Red team should have seen them down there. Yeah, they've seen them down there, but they're not headed down here to counteract this at all yet. On the plus side for them, the minion wave is way the heck down here. So they're not going to be able to go for that Vi going in on the Thresh, but unfortunately for her, there's actually a lot of the enemy here, but the rest of her team is here as well. And they're going in on the Lee Sin. Lee Sin's going to go down. He does end up going down, and that's probably going to be a tower here for the blue team. The rest of the red team didn't head down there. I really don't know why. I would have thought they would go ahead and do that. And now Thresh being way too far forward, or behind, depending on how you look at it, because had he been under the tower, at least he'd be doing damage, but he wasn't. And they are able to force these guys off of the tower. Don't manage to kill anybody. Soraka really low. I don't think she's going to end up dying, though. And in the meantime, Lucian taking this time to go ahead and shove mid. And really, there's not much these guys can do. Jinx ulti was already used, so they're not going to be able to secure a kill there. And blue team should be able to get out of this with very little problem. Rumble doing what he can to check stuff out. Does not really matter all that much, though. And Lucian headed up top to go ahead and defend this. The red team really hasn't been focusing as much as one would think they would onto these towers. They're still, even with their bonus, they're still 2 towers behind. A lot of times when you see a team have Dragon or Baron, they're a lot of times going to capitalize on that by getting these towers. And this red team just really hasn't done that. I do want to see what happened to Rumble here. Looks like he decided to go for this and probably got rooted by the Rise, yeah. Not in your best interest, man, not at all. Can't 1 versus 2. Didn't know they were both there, but it was still a very dangerous position to be in. And now they are again trying to shove this forward. Jinx says, no, flame chompers, don't chase me. And Rise is actually already on his way back. Walks right through the pink ward, doesn't get it. They did actually ping this ward, though, so I guess she's going to go ahead and sweep it. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and clear this out here. And we'll see what ends up happening. In the meantime, Jinx is down here shoving it back forward again. Every time Rumble's done that, it ended up going bad for him. So she's probably kind of nervous by this point in time. And now the blue team's shoving up this mid lane, wanting to go for this tower. And again, red team's not reacting at all. Out comes the culling, chunking a lot of health this time onto that Syndra. And it does force her to fall back. Lee Sin and Thresh are the only ones here, so this tower is gone nearly instantaneously. Vi goes in, down goes the Thresh. Just kidding. He's going to be able to get out of this, just barely. And they are going to be able to get the inhibitor, though, because of that. And again, it feels like the red team is just a little slow to react every time. And that's really what's doing this. Nice zoning tool there by the Soraka. If you do end up standing on it when it expires, it roots you. And that's why they went ahead and backed off immediately, because there's no way they were going to be able to cross it. And maybe that's something I need to think about. In the meantime, Vi went ahead and shoved down this tower up here. And it looks like they're trying to go for this inhib tower. It's going to be a lot harder for them to get this one. Oh, gets hit by a bind there. Flashes out of it. Thresh getting really low down. He goes. That Soraka heal doing work. The Lee Sin hit comes out. Lots of death all around here. The Cinder manages to go ahead and finish off the Soraka right as she dies to the bye there. And ends up being a 2-for-1. Down goes the Jinx as well. And that's probably going to be this tower. I cannot see Rumble being able to defend this with Lee Sin. No, the tower's going down. They're going for the inhib, and they're still not going to be able to defend this. The root comes out from the Rise. Not going to follow through with it, but they are able to get that tower. They might end up heading top, honestly, because they've got a big wave. And respawns, it's kind of iffy. Thresh is up now. Syndra's up in 10. They'd probably get there right about the time the respawns happen, so probably not in their best interest. They're going to go ahead and head back now. They've got a lot of extra gold, and there's really no reason for them not to head back here. All you'd be doing is, over pushing there and just really throwing away any advantage you just got from that. Because they were all so very low there. And by going back, of course, that allowed them to go ahead and buy, allowed them to continue that advantage, and really make it harder on this red team. I believe that was a surrender. Can't actually tell. Looks like it was a 2-0 surrender vote. Can't tell because Syndra was in the way, but that's fine. That's fine. One would think that the red team here would go ahead and build lots of armor. This team is very heavy AD damage. The only real AP damage they have is Rise, which honestly, yeah, is huge. But having that armor would also be huge. And really the only one with any armor whatsoever is the Lee Sin here. Yeah, he's the only one with armor. And that's really showing. Blue team going for the Baron again. And no steal from Lee Sin. He was not even close. And that's probably going to be the game right there. Blue team should be able to just bully over this red team. They've got so much damage. And the red team has no mitigation whatsoever. Again, apart from Lee Sin. I really feel that that's a large part of what's messing them up. They just don't have any defensive. They're all so squishy. And again, right there, you see exactly what I'm talking about. Vi was just able to insta-burst her with the Rise. Rise, of course, does have the magic damage. But, ooh, Vi goes in, manages to finish off the Jinx. Lee Sin jumps away. Out comes that Rise root. And these guys are forced back. They're going to go for that inhibit as well. That is all the inhibs. There are now 3 lanes of super minions going for this red team base. And they can't do a thing. They cannot do a thing. Out comes the equalizer, and the blue team doesn't even care. They go ahead and jump over. Out comes that Soraka ulti, just heals up all that damage, and they go ahead and finish the game. So that is going to be the end of this game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I really wish that was an actual KaBuM member, and maybe it is, but I don't think so. So I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.